Hello and welcome to Knit All the Yarn podcast. My name is Lisa and I live in Michigan with my husband and my kiddos. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as 72 Stitches. I really need to change my intro. I feel like a robot when I say it. Sorry. Hi, how are y'all doing? I got my coffee with peppermint mocha creamer. Love it. Second favorite next to pumpkin spice. Today is Thursday, April 18th, 2024, and it is 8:47 a.m. We are, or I am, podcasting, recording earlier because if you know, you know, tomorrow is a big day for the Swifties, and I don't know what kind of state I'm going to be in tomorrow. And I plan on listening to the new album. I'm so excited. The Tortured Poets Department. Oh, I'm so excited. So I decided to record on a Thursday because, yeah, once my kids go to school and my husband starts work, I'm going to be listening to that. Probably nonstop. We'll see. We'll see how it makes me feel. Yeah. But I'm excited. Okay, this is my YouTube channel where I share my knitting, crocheting, cross stitch, whatever crafty thing I'm up to. Today I have one finished object and 4 whips. Yes, 4 whips. One of them you have not seen, but the rest are all repeats from last week. What else do I say in the beginning here? You can find all the show notes right down there in the description box. Click on the word more right underneath the title. Everything should drop down for you. I'll have links to all the things. Bags, yarns, patterns, project pages, if I have any. I think it's just my blankets that I have project pages for. My reading and watching. Where you can find me, I'm most active on Instagram. I'll have my Ravelry group down there where I'm hosting my 2 year-long knit-alongs. And I am going to be doing the Knit All the Stripes. I almost said scraps. I'm already doing that one. Knit All the Stripes. Probably going to be June 1st through August 31st. I think we're just going to do a summer of Knit All the Stripes. And if you want to double dip with Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady in the summer sock camp, you are more than welcome to do that. I don't know what it is about summer sock camp, but I love it. Probably the one thing I love about summer. Probably the only thing I love about summer, honestly, because I don't like summer. Too hot for me. All right, I'm wearing an oldie, but a goodie. This is Dotted Rays by Stephen West. I really love the end. Like this part right here is my favorite. I did the black and white I-cord bind off, classic me. So I just did scrappy. I wish this was like a little bit bigger. I wish I would have kept going, but as you can tell, the rows get pretty long and my scraps were getting kind of short. And as you can see, there's wrinkles in this because it's been rolled up. Oh, love it. Love this one. I was unsure. When you get started, it's a little fiddly, but then as you go, you're like, okay, I got this. Probably my first time doing yarn overs or eyelets. And then I changed it somewhere in the beginning where I was doing my eyelet rows. I wasn't doing it in the, what am I trying to say? I have 2 rows where the eyelets, I was changing it every other color, and then up here I wasn't. I was just keep going, but it's mostly because I was trying to figure out the pattern. But that's what I'm wearing. Scrappy Dotted Rays. Love it. Okay. I think we can get started. All right, finished object, my one and only finished object. This is Opal color number 9980. I gotta sit down for a second to look in my book here because I wrote down my start and finish. I started these April 6th and I finished them April 13th. Love them. I used US 1.5, which is 2.5 millimeter. How much is that US 2s? And I used the Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop by Kate of the Crazy Sock Lady. They do not match. This color is Wild and Crazy, and I mean, I'd have to, and sometimes the repeats are very long on this, so I was not in the mood to cut out that much. Didn't want to. I had a lot of comments about, here, you can buy Opal here and here. It seems like if it's in the US, there is either the colors I want, they're out of stock, or they don't have it. But I heard from people that it's over in Europe. Oh, but buying stuff over the sea, buying stuff overseas makes me a little nervous. I don't like doing it that much because shipping and, you know, traveling across an ocean. Yeah. So I do have one more of this. Forgot to show you. Weep. This is my last one. I believe I bought, there was a blue one that I made my mom already. But this is the last one I have. The last Opal Joy. So I do have this one, but that's it. Stretch. Yeah, so that's it. These are for me. 64 stitches. I do 12 rows of 2x2 rib. Knit 2, purl 2. Heel flap and gusset. And I just knit all the way through. I did not, usually with my self-striping yarns, I pull from the outside when I knit. So when it comes to the heel flap, I usually pull from the inside, but I was not in the mood, and this yarn is so crazy that it didn't even really matter. And the repeats are long too, so that helps. So yeah, I just knit them from cuff to toe, Kitchenered, and the end. Love these. These are mine. These are mine. All right, that is my finished object. That's it. All right, now we're on to whips. This is one that you have not seen. This is Unusual Surroundings. I will link them down below, but I don't think he is making bags anymore. I went to his shop and it looks like he's destashing some of his fabric, so. But that's where I got this. Star Wars, Star Wars. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. And I need a sock blocker because I finished a sock. Oh my word, I love these. Had a little snafu with these. I think I talked about this last week. How the skein, when I wound them up, when I caked them up, they both ended at green, so I had a hard time like figuring out if they were both starting at the same spot. Well, come to find out they did not. And so I like unwound the second ball to make sure it matched with the sock, this first sock. I'm like, okay, it looks good. Let's go. And then I cast on my cuff, and then I was looking at the cuffs and I realized there is a slight, like a teeny tiny difference. And I was like, I noticed it like that night, and I'm like, whatever, I don't want to read this out. I'm not gonna do it. Well, I woke up the next day and I said, this is mustache yarn. These have to match exactly. So I tore it out and had to restart. But luckily I just had the cuff done and maybe a couple rows. So wasn't that big a deal. Now, if I got the whole leg done, then I would have like been really mad, or I would have just said, screw it, and left it. But and this is like, this worked out perfectly. I'm like, oh my word, I couldn't have, you know, perfect. Perfection. So this is mustache yarn. I didn't show the tag. mustache yarn. And this is Leia. And I also, this is a vintage skein, I realized. I'm knitting this with a friend, Stacy, and she showed hers, and I'm like, yours looks different. Wait a second. So with hers, and I saw someone else's too, this tan stripe right here is now green. So just FYI, I think she just changed it, which is fine. But I was just like, what is that? And that is where I got my issues. So let's see, we have like a darker gold here. And then it's like, maybe it's better to show it in the foot area. So we have light gold, and then we have darker gold, and then we have light gold, dark gold, light gold. Well, when I started this sock, it was at the dark gold. So it wouldn't have been that big a deal, but I said, nope, I'm not that far. Let's just tear it out. It's not a big deal. So here is the sock. Look, and it ended, the speckled ended at the toe. And the speckled part was the whole gusset and then some. I mean, that is a long repeat. Yeah, my gusset ended right there. So it was like 6 or 8 rows after the gusset, and I still had it. Oh, love it. So if you're curious about my markers, I will link a video down below. But that's, I take them off of the first sock. So you can probably guess where I'm at on the second sock. It's just motivating to me. This really helps motivate me to just keep going. I feel like the second sock, once you cast it on and start taking these markers off and put it on the first one, it just goes by so much faster. So I am on the gusset. The heel here is Lolo Did It. Oh, I don't know. Coal Miner's Daughter, I think. It's one of her grays. So I am on the gusset. This is me trying to show the gusset on a magic loop. So yeah, I had the cuff done on yesterday morning, and I realized, no, we're not doing that. So I tore it all out, and once I tore it all out, I got my ball winder out, and I wound it up in the reverse order, because that's what it was. And so that I knit from the outside of my cakes. So I made sure that was on the outside. So I had to rewind this. That's okay. So yeah, that was the only like bummer. And I said, oh, they said this was a vintage skein. So I was looking through my mustache orders. Apparently you go through your orders and see how much orders you have purchased for somebody. I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. For the 2017 and 18 orders, that's when I first started buying mustache yarn. The colorways were not listed. So I have 4 skeins that I bought in 2 in 2017 and 2 in 2018. And this must have been one of them, because the previous ones that I looked at had the colorway names. I know R2D2 and 3CPO. Is it C3PO? C3PO. I always get that mixed up. Those are probably the first Star Wars ones that I bought, and those were probably the 2017 ones. And yes, they're still in there. I am going to start knitting these. This one, I've bought this obviously in 2018, we'll say. That's why it's a vintage. It's been in my stash for a long time. And then Carrie Fisher passed away, and then I couldn't get myself to knit it. But the time is now to start knitting my Star Wars ones. I don't know if Mustache Yarn is going to have a new colorway or do her Star Wars update. She usually does one on May 4th or really close to it. I don't know if she's going to do one this year, but I have collected them all So I am not that worried about it, but I already have my next Star Wars skein picked out. It's not going to be next, but maybe after that, we'll see. Yeah, so here we are. Chiaogoo red lace 32-inch cord for these and for all of my socks. I love the Chiaogoos. They're my fave. Yeah, I would love to have this done today. We'll see. We'll see. As long as if I don't sit here and blab for an hour, I could probably get a lot done. But we'll see. Absolutely love these. Put this back in my bag so I don't forget. Alright, that is my only sock whip. Oops, hit the wall there. And this, oh, I did not finish it. This is my bag from Amy, Happy Little Yarn. This is my Taylor Swift hat, also mustache yarn. It's the Mustache Yarn Show. Mustache. And this one is Era's, my Taylor Swift hat. You know, it'd be nice to like have this finished tomorrow for the album, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Here is, I have started the second cake. I have not weighed this yet, but I need to leave. Let's see, the decreases took 7 grams. So does that mean I should leave like 8 grams just for a little buffer? Maybe? That's probably what I'm going to do. I want to use most of it that I can. Whatever I don't use, I will put in my light. Excuse me. I don't know why it does that. The light bulb is fine. It is a very, very old lamp, so maybe that's what it is. I'll put the leftovers in my granny stripe. Dun, da, da, da. So I was here last week. This is marking where I changed to my second cake, just for giggles. So there is a repeat issue right there, if you can see. But I was not in the mood to rip out a whole bunch. I wanted to use it all. So here it is, the Musselburgh hat. Love it. Everybody's knitting these. All right. And this is where I did my decrease, or stopped my decreases in case I wanted to measure after I finished. I'm using, did I write down my needles? Yes, US 3s, 3.25 millimeter. I'm using Chiaogoo needles, 16-inch. I'm doing the adult medium, and my stitch count is 128. That's all I'll say. I think I mentioned it last week, how my gauge is a little, the gauge I'm getting it is 8 stitches per inch, but with the 8 stitches per inch and the stitch count, it's 144, and that's way too big. So I pretend that I'm doing 7 stitches per inch. I did this with one hat and it's fine. It is super wash, it's gonna stretch a little bit. So the 144 stitch stretched out way too much. So look at the stripy goodness. I love this so much. So maybe I'll finish it this week. Maybe. I mean, I could, but I really love working on this. Which means I probably should just cast another one on, right? And just finish it. And then I'm sad because it's getting warm out and now I can't wear it. Why do I always do this to myself? I never knit hats in the fall or winter. I always seems to do it like at the end of winter. So we will see if this gets done. Let's move my marker. So I don't forget. No, we'll just stick it right there. And this is Twin Mountain Handcrafts there seems to be the only ones that I'm using. And I think I'm finally getting mine in the mail. I ordered a long time ago. They must be really backed up with orders or something. Maybe they had a show. But I feel like I ordered those in March and I'm like just finally getting them. I'm like, yay, new stitch markers. I mean, I don't need any, but you know. I got some clear coffee ones because I need more. I need more coffee ones. All right, that is it for that whip. And now we're gonna be talking about my blankets. Still working on my blankets. All right, this is my DK Cozy Memories. Love it. So I'm using a US4 3.5 millimeter, 20 stitches by 20 stitches. I do have a project page on this. I'm holding fingering weight double. The pattern is for fingering weight, but we're changing it up. It is so squishy. I love it. I love this thing so much. All right, I finished a row. Here we are. There to there. Finished a row. So I now have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, I got 7 rows. I don't know if you can see the bottom. I can't see. There we go. And that's where I was when I did. I'm keeping track of how many squares I do a month. So this is my April 1st one. Also, Twin Mountain Handcrafts, a little Christmas tree, pine tree. I am weaving in my hands as I go. Here's the back side. I do have in my project page, I do have a video, or not a video, directions on how I do my rows. So there's V's on most of them. I have 18 V's and then I have to like pick up 2 stitches in the top. Just because obviously when you get to the end, you can't do the slip ones because you have to do slip, slip, knits and knit 2 together. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know what 7, I'm doing 12 squares across. So whatever 12 times 7 is, I should know that. But I don't. Is it 80 something? Is it 84? I'm gonna embarrass myself. I know last week was 72. So what's 72 plus 12? I don't know. I think it's 84. I could be wrong. But here we are. I love it. It was warm over the weekend. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can work on this. I try to have like, I don't have it on my lap, so I like have it on the side, which helps a little bit. But it was warm and now it's cold again. So yeah, we'll talk about weather and life stuff. We had some exciting weather yesterday. Yeah, I think that's it. I try to do, I have been keeping up with like knitting like 3 squares on Friday and then 3 on Sunday, so I don't have to do a whole bunch on Sunday. And I can work on other things, but it is, you know, scrappy Sunday. So I have to work on it on Sunday a little bit. So that is that blanket. Now we got my granny stripe. I did not work on that this much this week. Look at that. I didn't work on it Wednesday because Wednesday seems to be the day I don't work on it because I get groceries on Wednesday, and the time that I get groceries is the time that I work on this blanket. And then by the time I get all the groceries put away, I'm like, I want to work on socks. This is sock knitting time. So I did not work on it Wednesday. And since I'm a day earlier, so I worked on it Monday, Tuesday, and today, Thursday. So I don't have a lot done, but I'm going to show it anyway. If I can find my markers. There we go. Also, Twin Mountain Handcrafts coffee. So that's where I was last week. How many rows is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. And I did have a comment about last week saying how many grams does it take to get you all the way across once? And I'm like, oh, that's a good question. I don't know. So I measured my ball, knit a row, crocheted a row, weighted again. It was about 6 grams. And I have 302 stitches. I'm using a small needle, and I am a tight crocheter also, so just keep that in mind. D 3.25 millimeter. This is my hook. Clover ones, my fave. So yeah, about 6 grams to go all the way across. And this one was where I was at in April. So I've done all this in April, which is pretty good. I think this is my second. I usually have been doing 2 magic knot balls a month. So I got 29 grams. I'm so close. I wound up my next magic knot ball and I got a little bonkers. It was like 106 and I'm like, oh, I just grabbed a handful of scraps and I'm like, I'll just add these to it and I'll be good. And then I weighed my ball and it's 144 grams. So that one's gonna take a long time to get through. I don't know what I was thinking. Yep, so there we are. In my project page for this, I have a video for the magic knot ball. Not mine. A video and a video for the pattern. And that other marker that you see way down there was my March. I started this in February. So from the start to that marker was February, and from that marker to the next marker was March progress. So I'm on month 3 with this. I have no idea how big I'm gonna make it. It might get to the point where I run out of little teeny tiny scraps. I'm not quite there yet, but my bag is getting small. So this might get put down. I just realized I have like a fuzzy. Thanks, hair. So nice. When I start my next Cozy Memories blanket with fingering weight, I will make those into magic knot balls, whatever I have left, because I usually save 5 grams and it usually I only use like 3, maybe 4. So I love this thing so much. And I gotta move my marker. So hopefully this week I will get more done on it. If not, it's not a big deal. This is a long-term project. I have no intentions, pressure, whatever you want to call it, on finishing this anytime soon. I might put it away over the summer because it is warm. It is a nice warm blanket. All right, there we go. I would love to finish that magic knot ball this week. I have 29 grams. I feel like I could do it. And plus I will have an extra day of content because I will be recording on Friday next week. So, goal, finish this magic knot ball. Start the next one because it is a big one. All right, that is all of my projects. Half an hour. Look at me go. All right, now we got reading and watching and life stuff, and I do have the yarn for my next cast on. Because I do not have any mail today. Pat, pat, pat. But I do have some stuff coming. Oh yes, I told you my markers. I will show those when I, oh, my foot fell asleep. When I get those. I guess since we're still talking about yarny stuff, we'll talk about my cast on. And then if you don't want to hear me ramble about reading and watching, you can peace out. So I caked up the yarn yesterday. The Lemonade Shop. This was some of the yarn that Amy sent me to make her socks. The colorway is called Give Me a Break. I am knitting this now because I want the scraps for heels and toes for scrappy socks. I had a yarn picked out and I'm like, nope, I want this one. And did you guys see the theme for the summer sock camp? It's like 80s and 90s. It's like, I probably should have waited to use this, but I want to use this for heels and toes and scrappy socks. Look at that. Beautiful. And I bought this a while ago. I don't know if I showed it. I don't even remember when I bought it. The more lemonade job. And this is Polly in My Pocket. Do you guys remember Polly Pocket? I was obsessed with Polly Pocket. Oh, I can still like see it in my head. I love the Polly Pocket. Look at this. Pretty sure I bought this when I wanted for heels, toes, and cuffs. Or just heels, or just toes, whatever. Yeah, so I'm either gonna do heels, just heels, or heels and toes. Once I put in the heel and I see it with this, I will decide, but I think they go pretty well together. Yeah, and yeah, I'm just gonna use this just for heels, toes, and cuffs. That's what this is for. So this is my next sock. Oh, I'm excited. And then after I knit her socks, this yarn will become for heels, toes, and cuffs. So that is my next cast on. If I can finish those Leah socks. Leia socks. Oh my. I think I keep saying that because my kids like to look at the labels and they're like, who's Leah? And I'm like, oh my word. I have failed you as a parent. Like, that's not Leah, it's Leia. So I have that stuck on my head. Both of my kids. Who's Leah? Oh, so once I finish those Leia socks, I will start those. Maybe tomorrow. Because it doesn't really matter. Yeah. All right, so that's it for the yarny content. So if you don't want to stick around for me blabbering on for a few more minutes, I will see you next week. If you want to finish that one row or want to keep going, I will talk a little bit more. So reading and watching. Reading, I finished The Golden Sun. That is book number 2 in the Red Rising series. That one I didn't, it was okay. It was okay. I'm going to keep going. Because I think this is where, after the second book, maybe I read the third one. I think after the third one, I'm like, I either lost interest or something else. I wanted to read something else and I just stopped reading the series. So I'm going to focus. I'm going to keep on going. And I am still reading Crown of Midnight, number 2, Throne of Glass series. It's feeling kind of slow. It's feeling kind of slow, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, the A Court of Thorns and Roses was kind of slow in the beginning too. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. But I'm just like, oh, it feels like nothing is happening right now. I think I'm like 30%. Somewhere between 20 and 30%. So I'm sure it's going to pick up here at some point. And it's taking me forever because that's the book I read before I go to bed. And I only read like maybe 1 or 2 chapters depending on how long they are. So it's going to take me a while to finish that. Watching. My husband and I are watching Handmaid's Tale season 5. Oh my word. That show is intense. I do not recommend watching that right before you go to bed like we do. It's good, but it's intense. I think there is going to be one more season, but that's going to be the last one. If I remember correctly, I think it's coming out in 2025. So we have a ways. So we're going to have to, at some point, get Hulu again so I can finish it because I want to finish it. Yep, so that's on Hulu. I'm still watching the Doctor Who. I finished season 20. Season 20. All right, season 20, the last 4 episodes, go watch them. The titles of them are, the series is The 5 Doctors. So they bring them all back. Now, the 4th Doctor, Tom Baker, he is not in there very much at all. And I understand. He's like, I just did 7 seasons with you guys and you guys want me to come back? You know, I know, I don't want to. So they had like a few clips of him in there, like maybe 2 in the beginning and the end. But, so they had Doctor 2, 3, and 4, or 2, 3, 5. The first Doctor, they had to change the actor because obviously, I'm pretty sure these came out in the 50s and he looked pretty old in the 50s. So I don't think he was alive. This is, I think 80, what year is this? Either 83 or 84. Oh, 83, it's a good year. It's a good year. 83 or 84 is when this was filmed. So they changed the actor, obviously, because I feel like he was probably in his 70s, in the 50s. So I don't think he was around. And if he was, he would not be up to acting. But the person they picked, I could tell it was somebody different, but I think he did a pretty good job. The second Doctor, he looks the same. I mean, he must have those genes where once you reach like age 50, you don't age at all, or 60 or something. I mean, I'm pretty sure they dyed his hair. But I was like, dang, you look pretty good. Because he was the second Doctor. I don't remember what year that was. Maybe early 60s. I don't know when Doctor Who started. Was it 54? 55? I don't know. Somewhere around there. So, yep. Watch. And there is also a series. I don't remember where it is. But it's called The 3 Doctors. That one got me confused. And I'm like, 3 Doctors? So then when I saw the title was 5 Doctors, I'm like, yes, I know where this is going. I was so excited. Loved that one. That was like the end of season 20. And watching season 21. I'm like a few episodes in. This is the last season with Doctor number 5, the Scarf Killer, I like to call him. Like, my husband was, we were watching it last night. He had to work last night and he was home like at 10 o'clock. It was a really, I guess he had some visitors come in to his work. He had to go to the office and then they went out to dinner and then they went out for drinks. He didn't come home until 10 o'clock. And so I'm like, I'm watching Doctor Who, I guess, because I can't watch Handmaid's Tale without him. And I'm like, look, it's the Scarf Killer. He just started laughing at me. I'm like, he's the Scarf Killer. That's how I'm going to refer him now. Watch season 19, episode 1, and you will see the Scarf Killer in action. And those are on Tubi. There's 7 Doctors. I'm hoping I can finish them before they remove them. It's good. I started watching these in November, so I'm going for it. I'm just gonna keep going. I do not know how many seasons the 6th or 7th Doctor have. I'm hoping 3, but we'll see. We'll see. If that's the case, I could probably finish them this summer. So it usually takes me a week per season. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, and movies. For our Friday night movie last week, we watched Hunger Games: Catching Fire 2013. That's number 2. We're probably going to watch is the part 3 is when they split it into 2 movies. I think it is. So we'll watch movie 3 part 1 or or something like that. I forgot what it's called. My daughter's really liking those. She said she likes the second one better than the first one, and I'm like, I don't know. She likes the action movies. She likes the explosions. So she likes this one better because there was more explosions. And I guess she said the it was only 1 year apart, but she says the graphics were better. I don't know. Maybe just some of the things they came up with in the Hunger Games, the fog and the monkeys. She just liked it better. So that's what we watched. We'll probably watch the next one tomorrow. And of course, I watched Taylor Swift Eras Tour again. And today, I'm going to watch the Taylor Swift Folklore. I have to watch that again. I'm in the cozy. I need to get in a cozy mood. Man, if you've been on social media, Taylor Swift she's all over the place. We got games, we got puzzles, we got countdowns everywhere. Did you see we have a new countdown? What is going on? I feel like there's no way that she could figure all this stuff out. She must have a team that she's like, all right, this is how I like to do things. Figure a puzzle out for me. Maybe she does it. I don't know, she probably does. But oh my word, we have a second countdown. I have no idea what's going on. We had a countdown to the album, and now we have a countdown. All the Easter eggs, and oh, I can't figure it all out. I'm too new of a Swiftie to know what is even going on with those Easter eggs. And I see everybody's theories, and I'm like, yeah, that has to be it, and then I'm wrong. So she likes to keep us on our toes. All right, life stuff, real fast. So we had some really nasty weather yesterday. So I told you my husband went to the office. The kids were at school. About 1:50-ish, 2 o'clock, somewhere around there. The sirens started going outside, my city sirens, and I'm like, oh crap, what is happening? I knew we were gonna get storms. And so I checked the weather app and it says, oh, you're in a tornado warning. I'm like, oh great, I'm here by myself. It's 2 o'clock. The kids are gonna get out of school like in half an hour. So I was like panicking a little. I'm like, do I go and get my kids? Do I just stay in my house? Do I go in the basement? So I was here by myself during a tornado warning. Oh my. All is well, obviously. It's fine. It didn't occur to me that the schools would say, oh, there's a tornado warning. We're gonna, hold the kids in the buildings. We're not going to dismiss them at a regular time. After I got that email, I'm like, duh. Okay, so the kids are safe. Kids are fine. So then I went in the basement, hung out for a little bit. The storm passed really quick. It was like maybe a half hour. We did not lose power. We did not lose internet. No trees fell. It was a very, I guess, I don't think any tornadoes touched, but there was swirling actions going around. So they had to warn everybody. So all is good. And a part of me was like, I was getting flashbacks to the last like major storm we had. That was in August last year, where we lost power for like a day and a half. And I was like, if I lose power and I miss listening to Taylor Swift's new album, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna cry buckets. That's what I was mostly worried about. I wanted to listen to Taylor Swift on Friday. Do not lose the internet or power. But then, I was concerned about, a tree falling on my house first. But once I realized that it wasn't very windy, it was a little windy, but it didn't last very long. And all the trees stayed where they were. I was like, please do not lose power for internet. because I have to have the internet so I can get on my Spotify and listen to Taylor Swift. I'm a diehard man. I am a Swiftie for life. I'm an old Swiftie, but it's okay. So yeah, that was my excitement yesterday. Tornado warning by myself. Yeah. What else? We had some warm weather. It was like in the 70s for like the past couple days, and now it's, I think the high is like 60. So I don't know if I'm gonna have any open windows today. That's okay. Yeah, I think that's it for life stuff. I really don't have anything else. Yeah, just weather related stuff. So if you are a Swiftie and you're gonna listen to the album, let me know what you think about it. This isn't gonna get posted till Monday and uploaded and all that. So I feel like by Monday, everybody would have listened to it if they really, really wanted to. So there won't be any spoilers, but let me know what your favorite song is. Let me know what you think. I feel like our hearts are all gonna get broken. I feel like we're gonna feel there is speculation that this is over the breakup. So I feel like we're all gonna experience a breakup, even if we don't like physically experience, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So hopefully it will go well. I'm a little nervous, I'm a little excited. I'm excited for some new tunes. Yeah. So let me know what your favorite song is. I'm probably gonna have to listen to it once or twice, maybe 3 times before I can pick my favorite. With a lot of Taylor Swift stuff, it's like I have to listen to it multiple times before the whole album grows on me. I mean, some are like instant, like Midnights. That's what made me a Swiftie. I loved everything on that thing. So then I just went back. Yeah. And Folklore, I'm done. I love Folklore. I love all of it. Every single one. My CDs, I did purchase Folklore and Evermore. I don't know if I talked about this. I purchased CDs. I have Folklore in my car right now. It makes me a little more excited to go out and do my errands. Just a little. Not like, I'm not super excited, but it's like, oh, I can take Taylor with me now. And we can do errands together. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. That's okay. Oh, and now the sun is coming out. Just about time for me to stop. All right. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, put them right down there. I do love reading them. Have fun listening to the Taylor Swift. And hopefully I will see you next week.